Okay, so I just want to apologize. It's been a long time since I've done anything with the drone pertaining because I have been waiting for a long time so that I had money and so that I could get these parts that I have printed. For storage management, I put it mostly together, but we will be starting back from where I previously left off. None of these rotors are going the right direction. In fact, if I run it on the ground, all of the rotors will be spinning backwards. I've separated the parts into pieces once again to, I think, basically where it was before. It's been a while, but I rewatched the videos and I think I got everything back in place. We are going to get it finished and up in the air, and hopefully its maiden voyage and it isn't its last voyage. So stay with me while I attempt to make this video a grand learning experience for those who come to watch me build it and for those who come to build it themselves. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. So I know what you're probably thinking, why the heck did he just cut those off? See, there's not enough room in this ESC box, even after you lay these down, for all of those wires. Don't worry, these won't be wasted. They're going to be put through the main frame so that all of these wires can be extended, because they're going to need to go all the way through the arms, through the main body of the thing. I will be soldering on new ends to these. I found out that I only have 7 male and 7 female left. It's not enough. I need 12. So I'm going to be attempting to reuse these ends. Okay, so I had to do that off camera. I'm going to do the rest of them off camera too. I will come back to you when I have them. It's just too hard to solder and keep it on screen within the amount of space that I have to do this all at the same time. But as you can see, they come out very clean. And I will come back to you after I do the rest. Okay, so I have 2 of them basically assembled. is what the basically will look like when it's completely together. See if I can get it all in there. It's a very tight fit. I cut the wires on this one just a little bit too short, so it doesn't fit exactly as well as this one will. See, that's like lots of room. You want to be careful when you're cutting most wires, because you can always cut wires. It's much harder to extend wires and not create knots and like solder joints that are too big for the space that you have to work with. For this one I'm going to show you, you're going to want to shove all of these through here one at a time. Is easier so that you can get them through this bottom hole here. Got a little bit of practice with this. Usually when you solder these, they're not exactly in the center, so you use one of those parts to like bend it up to get it through. You just twist it until it's like at an angle where it comes through. And then you're going to want to sort out the wires and make sure they're flat when they're going around through there. It doesn't really matter how they come out the other side, just as long as it's as flush and pulled flat as it can be on this side. So like this is the outermost wire and the middle wire that I'm working with here, so pull that through. And there you go. You got the 3 wires that are going through. They're kind of tangled right here, but that's okay because that's technically the other side. The next thing that you want to consider when you're doing this is how long the wires are going to be. The things that I'm using on the ends, they take up a little bit of room. When you have 2 connected, it creates this non-bendable area. Like this whole section right here is non-bendable. So you're going to want to have this lay across here when you're doing it, because there's just a tiny bit amount of room above where the ESC sits so that you can lay everything in there and it's still set flush. And the final thing you want to watch out for is making sure that when you solder these together that they're on straight, and you want to heat shrink each one of them, but you're going to heat shrink each end, that way they don't touch in the middle. And you don't want to reassemble all of them. You want to keep them spaced out like this, because if you put all the screws in and then realize that you have to switch one of the wires around in the future, you're going to have to take the whole thing apart just to switch one of the wires around. And you want to test it before you screw them together. That way you don't have to do any redos and any extra work in the future.
This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire.
Okay, so it's been so long since I built this that I've completely forgotten where all of the wires go. I don't know what they do, how they work, and all of the information that's online has been, I don't know, it's like altered. A lot of the information is removed, it's gone. People that were doing this project before, they don't care about it anymore. And so they have altered their boards and removed the links, and they're not functioning because I guess they don't want people to go down the same path. But I am determined. I have been working on this for many years, so now I am going to continue. Anyways, what I'm going to do, because it's a learning experience, and this may not even show up on the video, I don't know. I'm going to take this whole thing apart to find out how I did certain things to be able to do them again. Because I'm pretty sure that I wired the servo wrong. Not completely sure, but I can't get the servo to turn on.
Heart on fire, set my heart afire. Yeah.
So I got the wiring figured out. I had it right. But the wires are way too long, so I tucked them down through this extra hole here, and then there's a divot right there that you can take the wires through, and these two go together, and these two will eventually go together, and that's what I'm going to be doing now.
Bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire, set my heart afire.
Okay, because I'm having so much difficulty getting this to stay on, I tried double-sided tape. That obviously didn't work. Then I tried to screw it in place with the inserts, and they just pulled out. And then they got stuck on the bottom, and I had to get pliers to get them off. It's because the plastic melted inside of them. I didn't pre-drill the holes because I was lazy. What I'm going to do now is I've just decided that I'm going to screw some put some screws through the holes, put the threaded inserts on the other side, and use the holes in the thing that I already put in there as like sockets for them to slide into, and hopefully that'll hold it on. And then I'll also use just a little bit of double-sided tape to reinforce it. I guess it won't be permanent until I find a way to make it permanent. Probably drilling holes all the way through and putting bolts and washers on the other side. My bad. It's part of a tutorial. Don't do what I did. Sorry.
Set my heart on fire.